Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chumchain, just live and recorded. We're going to go over Bitcoin news. GPU mining is back with this Karlsen coin. Kind of a skeptical coin, but at least in my opinion, you can make some money. So why not just mine it, swap it, whatever you got to do. I actually dropped a video this morning. If you guys didn't see it, go check it out. Auto converting to Bitcoin or Kaspa or whatever you guys want through unMineable. Super easy, super simple, but all right, let's get into this. See who's here in the chat, and then we will dive into this. Nerd Beast, good to see you, buddy. Leo Lustig, Rob Mines, good morning. Nismo Miner, Broskis, my man, good to see you. We have Steven Cicero, as always. Mr. Dom G, Tim, I am Crypto, good to see you. Blue Tiger Mining, good morning, good morning. We have Crypto Escort, good morning, happy Saturday. All right, anybody else I may have missed, I apologize, but let's get into the market today. Let's see what we're looking like. Looks like Bitcoin 44,200. Hell yeah, that's sick. We have Ethereum 2371. Man, things look great today. ADA is at 62 cents, up 18%. Jeez, we have XRP 69 cents. Wow, things are actually really mooning. That's crazy. Where's Dogecoin? Where's Doge? Oh, it's down here. It's at 10 cents. Look at that. It's at 10 cents. Wow. Kind of shocked. I didn't see that happening. Kaspa is like the only thing that's red, and I honestly think it might be because of this Karlsen coin. But once people watch the video, able to auto convert into Kaspa, I think that'll eventually come back once the hype dies down with this Karlsen stuff. But we'll get into that in a second. AVAX is up 33 bucks, 22.87%. Jeez, man, things are crazy right now in the market. Crazy. What's up, Caveman? Good morning, buddy. Good morning. All right, let's check out the crypto bubbles over here on the week. Biggest earner on the week is this bonk meme coin. It's a meme coin, I think, on Solana, if I'm not mistaken, or something along those lines. I don't know. It's up 89 ranks to 79. Top 100. That is crazy in the past week. Look at this. HNT's even up 54.5%. I thought that project died long ago with my HNT miners. We are ranked 93. We have Solana up 23.5 on the week. Let's check out the, actually, Ordi's up 110. Jeez, that's crazy. You know what? Kaspa is like the only thing, one of the only things that's actually down on the week. But hey, nonetheless, it's fine. It's doing fine. We have, it's actually, you know what? To be honest, with this whole Kaspa thing, right? It's ranked number 27 still in top 100 coins. It's bound to have a pullback. If things go up forever, then that's, you know, obviously an issue. So you want to have a steady growth and a steady flat line basically before it does another pump, right? So it mooned pretty hard. I'm just happy it didn't take a shit back down. So that's the biggest thing. Mr. Max Voltage, as he would say,
this hash rate's going bonkers.
I know he loves hearing himself in the morning. Good morning, Max Voltage. I see him in the chat. We have ADA up 16.3% at, let's see, 62 cents. Not too bad. Not too bad. Everything looks really good, guys. Honestly, everything looks extremely good. We have Crow up 11.9%. Wow, Crow's at 10 cents too. Jeez. Oh yeah, man. You know what? The loophole with Crow, actually. So this is the crypto.com token. If you guys didn't know, when it comes to purchasing that, well, I guess going on that exchange and getting that credit card, you have to have like, man, what is it? I think it's $4,000 worth of Crow, if I'm not mistaken, in the, or to have like the card like staked on there, whatever, and you get like a free Netflix, like more or less you get paid back, right? They give you the Crow token to pay for these things monthly, so you get like free Netflix, like a few other things. I forget what it is, but if you guys purchase in when it's like stupid low and then a price appreciates, I know they'll actually compensate for the card. I know my man Taines did that, so it's pretty sweet. But anyways, starts at 500 bucks, says Mark. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, so I guess the $500 one is actually I think it's like a lower tier, if I'm not mistaken. I think it goes off tiers, I forget. Anyways, Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we're looking at 73. We're getting close to greedy, man. Getting close to greedy. To me, this is still pretty neutral. Again, over 75, that's really when I start really paying attention to this. And again, sell when people are greedy and buy when people are fearful. Probably the smartest play out there. All right, let's check out top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, XRP, BNB, Solana, USDC, Cardano, Lido staked Ether, and Dogecoin. Things switched up a little bit there. We have Shiba's in 18th, Litecoin's in 19th, Bitcoin Cash in 21st. And then we have, let's see, where's Kaspa at? Oh, Kaspa's in 30th now at a $2.8 billion market cap. We have Monero in 28th still. We have Ethereum Classics in 26. Look at that. Ethereum Classics been actually having a little bit of a rise. That's kind of nice. That's nice to see it doing something. That's cool. You know what? Real quick, let's get into the mining segment of things, and we're gonna stay right here. Let's check out Honey. Honey has been on a freaking tear lately. If you guys are interested in these Hivemappers, I got a link down below. Save you some money on it. But yeah, feel free to whatever. 18 cents. This is crazy. 18 cents. Mr. Matt Electron. If you guys didn't see his short, he has two of these Hivemappers. He has one in each window, like one in the front windshield and then one on his passenger side window or whatever, because he's a truck driver. He delivers stuff all day. He made a freaking $1,000 in a week. $1,000 in a week. That's more than most people get paid from their regular work. Like, that's absurd. I couldn't even believe that was like a thing. But man, this has been on a tear lately. Look at this. You know, I should have logged into my damn trading view. I forgot. Look at this boner candle. I mean, it's not one candle, but you know what I mean. Like, look at this thing. This took a rip. And I don't know what. There had to be some big news that came out. Because, I mean, it was at 2 cents. It was at 2 cents, and it just freaking from November 20th on, or 22nd on, basically, just been tearing through the market. That's crazy. I mean, there was some news, actually. My wife saw on Facebook that there was an ad for Hivemapper, which was kind of neat. I don't have a Facebook, but she went on there and she was like, I don't know what life's coming to when I started seeing crypto stuff on Facebook. So it was just kind of interesting to see that they're like advertising. Let's check out ETC POW quick, and then we'll check out Karlsen and all that stuff before we get on to this. All right, we got $2.36 on ETC POW. This is for those ETC MC nodes. If you guys are interested in that video, go check that out. I did make a video on that. I'm hoping it goes back over 250 before I get my payout, so I can cash it out and it'll pay for the license. All right, let's check out what was it on Karlsen? Let's see. Does it have the price yet? Oh, look at that. It's at 21 cents. Nice. Nice. What is happening here? Get off that. All right, 21 cents, man. So this Karlsen has also been on a freaking tear. And I don't know if it's just because, you know, us miners, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon or what. Like, you would assume that it's just gonna, oh, I forgot the chart's not that big. That's right. I would assume that you know, it doesn't I don't know, I would assume the profits got worse when people were getting on the network to mine it and stuff, right? Is it kind of weird? I don't know, it's weird to me. Let me see. Chump Change still rocking MySpace, bro. MySpace. Yeah, no, I don't do social media, man. It's not for me. It's toxic AF. No thanks. But man, this Karlsen coin. So I dropped a video this morning, like I was mentioning to you guys, over here on unMineable. Actually, they have now, if you guys can see this, they have Karlsen hash available. Now, easiest, smartest way just to auto convert from mining Karlsen into whatever you want. Like, I'm doing Kaspa, but you know what is a good play? Probably, at least in my opinion, I think I might swap this over and continue get a little bag of Nexa for the next pump. But again, not financial advice. So the reason I'm doing this, I explained it in that video as well. The Karlsen hash, like mining to that to get paid out in Kaspa, with the price of Karlsen being like almost 1.5 Kaspa, it'll stack much faster if I'm mining Karlsen and swapping into Kaspa, right? It's unfortunate I can't do it in my ice rivers, but it's I mean, whatever, I'm still getting paid, so it's all that really matters at the end of the day. Let's check out, let me see, let's check out my workers here. It's actually nice to see, right? I actually turned on my entire farm. I got all these units right here mining Karlsen, right? And then I have 2 units that are here at my house going directly to Kaspa. And I actually, if you guys didn't see this, the Kaspa KS0s, or the, if I'm not mistaken, the KS1s, 2s, 3s, you guys can get them on ASIC Hub and actually view them inside your Hive OS. So super cool being able to like monitor them and make sure they're on. But the only downfall about the ASIC Hub is you have to have the PC on like 24/7, whatever you have the ASIC Hub in. So I have it on a VM with my nodes. Like, I have a couple nodes on a VM, so it just makes sense. I just split off a small section, have the ASIC Hub running, and that's that. Let's see. Mr. Max Voltage, I am taking my Karlsen rewards to accumulate Litecoin. I got this idea from Chump Change stream a few days ago. Thanks for the financial advice. God damn it, Max. Why you gotta do that to me, man? That's messed up. That's messed up. No, I was just kidding, but that's awesome, man. Good for you. Good for you. Because I mean, Litecoin, to be honest, let me see. That's actually a good way to do things too. All right, that's not working. Whatever. I don't know why my Trade Ogre doesn't like this PC for some reason. Anyways, let me see. What was I doing? Litecoin. Let me go to here. Let's see. Litecoin, we have. All right, $77. Okay, so Litecoin is stupid low right now, at least in my opinion. And Litecoin is just, it's one of the OGs, man. Like, I don't see why this wouldn't have a tear in the next bull run, right? Just let's go to the max chart quick. Let's just see. So they have, I mean, Litecoin's almost hit $400 per coin. Right now it's like a fourth of that, right? It's kind of a no-brainer if you want to get, you know, good gains each bull run. Look at this. This is one bull run here, 2017, 2018, and then 2021. We had 2 bull runs, and this peak was higher than the first one. So I don't see Litecoin really going anywhere. It's the original silver to Bitcoin's gold, right? So I think it's a good move, but not financial advice. Max, bastard. All right, let's see. We have mine the ASIC. Let's see what the most profitable miner is today. The WinMiner K9. We're looking at the 10.3 terahash, only making $157 a day. Man, I say only, but that's because the price of these were insane and the network hash rate is going crazy. And unfortunately, the price of Kaspa is not helping the situation at this point, right?
This hash rate's going bonkers,
as Max would say. We have the KS3 from Ice River, $120 a day. We have the KS3M at $88 a day. The KS2 is making $29.18 a day. We have the KS1 making $14.59. And with my 5 KS0 Pros that are coming in, actually I have 7 coming in, but 5 of them will be 100 less watts and be making this a day. It was like 25 bucks, but now it'll be a bit less. Let's see where Ice River Kaspa KS0 Pro, 200 gigahashes right here, making 24 or 25 Kaspa a day, almost $3 a day. And this is at 10 cents kilowatt hour. So obviously for me, it's going to be way more shitty, but it'll be all right. At least it's still making money. And again, price appreciation, it'll only go up more. We have the KS0 100 gigahash of 65 watts, making $1.44 a day. Let's check out the X16Q real quick from jinglemining.com. Let's see. We have the X16Q again, mining ETC and ZIL. Actually, ETC is most profitable on it, $6.14 a day. Again, 10 cents kilowatt hour. So take that as you will. All right, let's get into this, guys. If you have any questions, just at me in the chat. Yeah, we're gonna get into the new stuff. So I want to see what all the hype of Bitcoin and crypto breaking out and all these news stations, what everyone's saying over here. This is CNBC television. Crypto breakout burns short sellers, which is kind of funny. Don't short Bitcoin during a bull run. Like, what are you doing? At least wait until like closer to the ETF being approved or the day of the ETF being approved, then do it. Buy the rumor, sell the news, people. Come on, it's not your first rodeo. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you. Let's do it.
Bitcoin's been on fire lately, as you know, soaring past 43,000. That's the highest level since early last year. There it is, 43.2. But that big breakout is burning some crypto short sellers. Our Kate Rooney's following that money for us. Kate?
Hey, Scott. So it's been a tough time lately to bet against some of the crypto proxy stocks as Bitcoin has risen. You've got Coinbase and MicroStrategy in particular. Those have been some of the best performing tech names this year. They're both up roughly 300% since January. Data from S3 Partners now showing that short sellers have lost more than $6 billion this year on crypto-related bets. More than half of those losses came from Coinbase shorts. Became more of a
oh man, half those losses from Coinbase shorts. That's crazy.
Popular trade this fall. Short sellers increased exposure in September to what they thought was an overbought sector, according to S3.
I don't know why these closed captions always come on by themselves.
Short sellers are down $2.7 billion just in the past few months on those crypto trades, or in percentage terms, that's off about 148%. Part of this rally likely a short squeeze. You've also got individual traders now chasing some of this momentum. According to Vanda Research, individual traders started rotating out of some of the big tech names into crypto and small caps, which there's a bit of an overlap there. Coinbase and MicroStrategy have benefited from these retail inflows, as well as some of the Bitcoin mining names too. Vanda analysts point to that upcoming January 10th deadline for the SEC's potential approval of a Bitcoin ETF, causing a lot of this excitement, they say, being a very momentum-driven asset class with a clear catalyst on the near-term horizon. They say we wouldn't be surprised if we see retail traders continue to pump flows into the space over the coming weeks. Scott, back to you.
Yeah, Kate, thank you. You have a thought on
Real
this?
quick, I'm just reading in the chat. Mr. Jason Mining said RX 580s are now making 50 cents after power with ASICS coin. I don't know if that's how you say that. I'm not sure. Let's finish this and then we'll look at it.
Because FOMO, as Kate said, anticipation of ETFs.
You know what? Someone actually asked me what FOMO meant. It's fear of missing out. If anybody doesn't know here in the chat, I'm assuming most of you guys know.
And it's just been going in that way.
If you think you missed this and you want to play catch up, one under the radar way to do it would be Robinhood. This is a stock that used to move tick by tick with crypto, and there's been a disconnect. But if you think about the main driver of profitable activity on the Robinhood platform, it is crypto. So this is a heavily shorted stock. It's been out for the count. It's rebounded a little bit off its year low. That might be a way in the stock market if you wanted to. I don't want to. I'm not putting this trade on, but it's just something that.
What's the difference between liking the potential of what Robinhood could do, but
what
still
I'm describing
not
is because I'm more of a long-term investor. What I'm describing is a short-term phenomenon where this is a name that could run up into year-end as everyone anticipates the first crypto ETF. The big winners of there being a first crypto ETF probably going to be Fidelity, BlackRock. I don't really think there's a trade there, but it's a legitimization of the asset class in the eyes of Wall Street. And I think it does bring investors back into playing in this space. And I think, look at Coinbase has quadrupled this year. Robinhood has not. Coinbase, obviously, a much bigger player in crypto. But again, one of the big drivers of Robinhood activity is speculation. And this is speculation writ large. So if it's coming back, they'll be back to trading on the Robinhood platform.
Bryn, what are your thoughts about the space right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we get this ETF, obviously, to Josh's point, investors will say, if it's good enough for BlackRock, we want some of that. I think where you kind of have the FOMO and that greater fool's theory is, from what I understand, which could be wrong, there's about 16 to 17 million Bitcoin in cold storage. So that only leaves like 5 to 6 out there to trade. And so all of a sudden you have this scarcity and you have an ETF, which I don't really understand the math. If you only have 5 or 6 million Bitcoin and you have an ETF, how do you actually back that up? I get it on gold, but I think right now, going into the year end and going into January, you're going to definitely, FOMO is alive and well. And I will say, you know, this crypto community wins again. It's pretty incredible after what happened last year with FTX, Voyager, et cetera. How, you know,
all the ones that stayed out of jail get to win. The key was
all
you had to not go to jail.
And
if you survive that, you get to win again.
Yeah.
Oh man, shout out to CNBC. All right, let's check out this ASICS. Is it ASICS? ASICS, I think someone said that's how you spell it. Let me see. ASICS coin. Let's see. Holy shit. It's up 436%. Jeez, that is crazy. Crypto KJ, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, bro. he sold all this last week for an ETCMC node. Look at that. Look at that boner candle. Look at that thing. Bro, that is crazy. I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. I don't mean to laugh, but that's terrible. It's happened to me, dude. It's happened to all of us. We've all done it. You know what I mean? Listen, I know it sucks. All right. It sucks really bad when you do something or you sell something and get into something else and you see it go up or go down, but there's always another train. There's always another boat. Like, it is what it is. Just there's no reason to cry over spilt milk. That's pretty much the best thing I can tell you. It's not worth it. But someone's saying that the RX 580s are making 50 cents after power. I need to get these on then, because let me see. I think it's this one. These are my RX 580s. I shut them off yesterday because they were all ass on the Karlsen network. It was like I forget what it was actually. Was it 1 gigahash? I think it was 1 gigahash or so, and it was pulling like 1300 watts. I was like, yeah, nope. We're getting these what's it called, RX 580s off of my farm because I don't need it. So whatever. I got the other ones on, but you can see 41.56 gigahashes on Karlsen. I'm just swapping it right to USDT, but that's me. I'm doing that in Trade Ogre. Anyways, all right, let's get on to the next thing. We are so back. Crypto experts speak of, I don't know, 2024 digital asset outlook. I'm not gonna try to say his name. Guys, that like button, appreciate you all. I hate asking, but I have to because YouTube hates my channel.
Crypto, yet another risk-on trade resonating with retail investors. Bitcoin surging 14+% this week, on pace for its third straight week of gains. The coin hovering around $44,000. That's nearly $30,000 higher than where prices were in January. And with spot ETFs and Bitcoin having expected sometime next year, our next guest is staying bullish on the setup for 2024. So joining us now on set is Meltem Demir's Chief Strategy Officer at CoinShares. A lot going on here. I guess, did we shake out a lot of the worries in the crypto market with sort of all of the disasters and bankruptcies and federal charges that we've seen, or did that just reignite all the skeptics?
Look, 2022 was a bad year for us, not a great look. Starting in June, going through the end of the year with FTX, a lot of bankruptcies, failures, outright fraud. We just had the final shoe drop with Binance and the Binance ruling that came out. Also this week, we saw an announcement that CZ, the founder of Binance, settled with the SEC, so we'll expect to hear that news soon. And now we just put in a new high for the year. So I think as we look ahead, I'm calling this the most hated rally. We're going into the end of the year. Everyone's tired of hearing about crypto, but baby, we are so back.
Well, it's almost
the amount of gains that we're going to be able to get off of this next run is crazy. And just like, keep in mind, guys, that we're coming to the end of the year. So like, I know everything looks green. It looks great right now. Usually, typically, before the end of the year, people end up selling to kind of tax lost harvest. But I don't know if it's going to happen this time because it was in such a bear market. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that in the live chat or the comments below.
You know, you talk about 22, and it was a tough year for you. You look like you've got a big smile on your face, and you survived it. But I would make an argument that the market traded like a champ. I mean, if you think about everything that was endured, I would have argued that we could have seen, yeah, it was a winter for digital assets and Bitcoin, but arguably it could have been desolation, you know. And so I guess my question is this rally about clearing through Binance and, you know, some of the mishaps, the transgressions, or is it really more about Fed policy? Look, I mean, it gets back to the existential reason for owning a lot of these digital assets. I mean, we're probably about to see the Fed step back from being aggressive. We're going to see the U.S. deficit spiral to new levels. We're going to see all those dynamics that have had people question why at some point there isn't a reason to own gold or digital gold or other things. You tell me, but my theory is this is more about stuff that's happening in macro that was always the underpinning for owning the asset class.
I think there's a few different things going on. I certainly think macro is a big factor. Risk on is a big factor right now at this current point in the market. I do think another component with Bitcoin in particular is price drives more price action. It's a very reflexive market. We've seen Q3, if we look at Square's earnings report, or Block as they're called now, I believe, they had a 2.5 billion in Bitcoin volume. That's 30 million a day of Bitcoin buying just on Cash App. So there's a lot of retail flows. At CoinShares, we track crypto ETP flows. We saw 10 consecutive weeks of inflows. For the year, we're up 1.76 billion. That's a 4% increase in global crypto exchange traded product AUM. And we're going into the halving. The daily supply of Bitcoin being mined is going to go down by half. There's new demand coming from the ETF. Fingers crossed. We're pricing 90% certainty on ETF approval. So there's a lot of different factors that I think buyers are pricing in here. But the big traders, the macro desks, they haven't started buying yet. So again, I say, baby, we are so back. And the big thing I always look for
Were they buying, though? In other words, is this something that was starting to happen, or is this a whole group of institutional investors that have yet to get into the asset class?
I think there's still a lot of institutional investors waiting.
Sure.
And for me, the big leading indicator is when retail's back, and that's when the dog coins start running.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I think we're definitely back. We're definitely back in the bullish scenario. All right, let's get into this. Robinhood will benefit from Bitcoin ETF. Let's see what they got to say here, guys. Again, hit that like button. Appreciate you. Let's do it.
Bitcoin up for 3 straight weeks as it trades now around $44,000, helping Robinhood have its second best week ever as a result. And it's not just crypto where fintech is flourishing. A firm clocking its best month ever in November after seeing record buy now, pay later sales on Thanksgiving weekend. My next guest sees those gains continuing into next year as well. Joining me now is Dan Dolev, senior
Which is kind of crazy because typically, like, again, Black Friday, we usually see a sell-off, and December is kind of like, it's a little hairy, and then people like to take, you know, before the end of the year. But I don't know if it's going to be the same this year. I don't know.
Analyst at Mizuho. Great to have you back. Welcome.
Thanks, Kelly.
So I guess we should start with, let me just start with the crypto stuff because that's kind of fascinating. It always
Look at that table. That table's sick. I want that. That's actually awesome. But then I'd be able to see all the shitty wires behind my computer.
feels like, you know, if this is the game Robinhood wants to play, then you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But what is your latest thinking on sort of the success of that platform? How much is crypto? How much is sustainable? That kind of thing.
Yeah, thanks. It's a great question. I think crypto, they're a net share gainer in crypto, and the data that we saw, like in November, they've been gaining share from Coinbase. So that's a great thing. To get to the next level, which is what you're asking, I am super bulled up on the UK, Europe growth. So it's going to be more of the same, but in other regions, and now also in Asia. So that's kind of the next leg, taking all that stuff that you're seeing and putting it into other regions.
Why are you so much more optimistic about Robinhood than Coinbase? We've talked about your bearishness there for some time. What's the difference?
Yeah, I could not.
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Robinhood, but I guess you're allowed to take your crypto out now, so that's kind of cool. I don't know. Let me know if you guys use it in the chat.
Be more bearish on Coinbase. Nothing changed there. So if you think about it, let's just kind of play it out. If you think about the Bitcoin ETF, which everyone is excited about, right? Robinhood benefits from that because you could trade the ETF as an equity. For Coinbase, it's net cannibalization.
Ooh, that's a good point, actually. I didn't think of that because they do stocks and stuff, and Coinbase only does crypto. Ooh, that's very interesting, actually. I didn't think about that.
Plus,
because you don't need to trade on their platform.
You don't need to trade it. So, you know, even take the most astronomical number you can think of, right? Like $1 trillion in AUM. If they get like 2-3 basis points off of that, that's probably like 5-6% incremental growth. I'm talking like something crazy, you know, like that's not going to happen. But there's very little incremental to Coinbase, and people don't see through that.
But what about the people who, and again, institutionally, trading-wise, absolutely see the use for the Bitcoin ETF, but what about people who are like, look, it's pretty easy to hold my Bitcoin on crypto. I feel like I own that asset a little bit more securely.
Dude, she's nailing it on the head right here.
It's not just kind of a play on the underlying. Isn't that likely to kind of shore up demand, keep people on that platform?
Totally. There's going to be demand for that. But just think about the fee differentials. So Robinhood is charging 34, 35 basis points. That's 1/3% to trade in and out of Bitcoin. Coinbase is charging 10x that number. At some
Wait, what? Are they really? They're that much cheaper than Coinbase?
point, and this is why I think we're seeing share gains at Robinhood. The market is going to start, or people are going to start understanding, hey, why am I overpaying for trading in and out? Makes no sense.
That's messed up. Did anybody else notice that? Tell me if you guys did in the chat. That's nuts. I didn't know that. I knew their fees were terrible at Coinbase, but I didn't know Robinhood was that much better. That's messed up.
So then that's kind of the rivalry of those trading platforms playing out as we watch whatever happens with the price of crypto exactly. Elsewhere, fintech, we mentioned Affirm, some of the buy now, pay later stuff. You think that's solidly poised into next year still? Because
what the hell, John English said, I've known this forever. What kind of friend are you, man? What in the hell?
So many people are raising questions about, whether there's a shoe to drop in the BNPL space.
Yeah, and I have a breakthrough thought for you today, as always. Affirm is not a buy now, pay later company. That was the currency to sit at the table. It's a full-fledged financial services company. They issued a hybrid debit credit card. It went perpendicular. Literally, the number of users went from 0 to like 800,000-900,000 within weeks or months.
Oh, wow.
2024 is going to be the same, but more. And they're going to get into more services. It's the most innovative name in payments.
But I always think once these companies start to broaden out from what they were innovative at, then they're just competing with everybody else. And is that really a game that you have deep enough pockets and enough of, can you go up against the giants?
And it's incremental. So the way I see this, it's incremental because if you use Affirm and then you have the card, right? The card users use Affirm 3 times more than the non-card users. And then if people put like direct deposit, their checks, right? They use it even more. So you're getting like a multiplier effect. So more of the same with very little incremental investment. So 2024 is going to be the year of Affirm.
Driving you
Man, I'm going to have to look back into Robinhood. I hate saying that. That's awful that I just said that, but I have to because that's crazy. I didn't realize the fees were that much different. That's nuts.
Back to the core product. Interesting. Quick, I wanted to mention this to you because I've seen some chatter online about this. We had talked about the launch of FedNow, the instant payment service at banks, being a potential headwind for all of fintech. But as I understand it, the rollout is incredibly slow. Adoption is very...
I absolutely love that desk. I'm sorry I keep pausing it, but that desk is sick. Does anybody else agree with me? Where do you get that? I want it. Someone send me a link, please.
Very low. Could you just provide a comment on that?
Yeah, as you expect, anything that the government does takes a long time. I've heard that there's several hundred banks that are already using that. So if you think about the impact of FedNow, look at places like, Norway. When there's 100% digital and there's a real-time payment rails, eventually it takes off. So it takes time, but then it takes off. So I wouldn't sort of write it off at this point.
Does that moderate your bullishness then on the space broadly speaking, or that's just some of the more exposed players that we've talked about previously?
I think it makes me more bullish on the names that can actually innovate, like the Affirms of the world, the Robinhoods. It makes me less bullish on names like Visa, which are basically living off of interchange.
Dan R in the chat. Oh man, shout out to CNBC for that. Dan R says you'll have little handprints all over that desk. You're so right. Never mind. It's out. I can't do it. You're 100% right. All right, let's see CNBC's crypto world. See what the news was yesterday. It says federal judge rules Binance founder CZ must remain in the U.S. Want want. Let's see what they got to say here. Appreciate you guys. The like button. Let's do it. Oh, there we go.
Today, Bitcoin and Ether get a boost as the nation's unemployment rate ticks lower. A federal judge rules Changpeng Zhao has to stay in the U.S. until he's sentenced for violating money laundering rules. And Ben Schiller...
Wait, so he's getting sentenced now? I thought he was just fined. They're going to actually put him in jail? Oh, that's rough, bro.
Discusses the biggest game changers in crypto in 2023.
Good morning, Oval Bore Tech.
Perfect. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Major cryptocurrencies ending the week flat. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin rose slightly, trading around $43,800. Ether rose less than 0.5%, trading close to $2,400. And Binance's BNB token rose nearly 1% as the unemployment rate fell more than expected to 3.7%. For the week, Bitcoin and Ether are both up more than 12% as the crypto rally gained steam, while on Wall Street, the S&P remained flat. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. A bipartisan group of senators are introducing a bill to tamp down on bad actors using crypto to evade sanctions. The Terrorism Financing Prevention Act will expand U.S. sanctions to cover transactions, including digital asset payments, to groups designated by the U.S. as terrorist organizations. That includes Hamas. Right now, those sanctions only apply to a small group of actors, like Hezbollah. The bill was written by Republicans Mitt Romney of Utah and Mike Rounds of South Dakota, alongside Democrats Jack Reed of Rhode Island and Mark Warner of Virginia. In the bill's announcement, Senator Romney said the new rules would, quote, equip the Treasury Department with additional resources to counter terrorism and address emerging threats involving digital assets. Next, a federal judge says Binance's founder, Changpeng Zhao, can't leave the U.S. In a ruling on Thursday, Judge Richard Jones said that CZ has to remain stateside until his sentencing for anti-money laundering violations he pleaded guilty to last month. The latest decision comes after a judge previously ruled he could return to the UAE. Zhao faces up to 18 months in prison, and Binance had to pay more than $4 billion for its role in sanctions violations and more.
What do you guys think? Do you think he's actually going to have to do jail time, or do you think he's going to just pay to get out? What do you think? I kind of want to put a poll in the chat. Let me know if I should put a poll in the chat.
All right, CoinDesk just put out its list of the most influential people in crypto for 2023. For our main story, I spoke to managing editor Ben Schiller about that list and the biggest crypto trends this year.
God, what a terrible last name, Ben Schiller.
CoinDesk just published its most influential list of 2023. There are many notable names in there, and I do want to talk about specific names in just a moment, but let's just start by having you walk me through the theme of this year. When there was so much upheaval in crypto markets, you even mentioned SBF for one. What was the focus when breaking down this year in crypto into 50 people?
Yeah. So these are the 50 people that we think defined the year in crypto. So we look for the major themes and storylines, and then the people attached to those storylines. And obviously this year, after last year with all the crises with FTX, Celsius, and Three Arrows and others, there was a feeling that the industry was a bit of a mess and there needs to be a kind of retrenchment, a transition from that period. And I think we've seen that latterly in this year. So that would be one of the themes. But meanwhile, there were a lot of people quietly building for the future, and we saw a number of news storylines come onto the scene that are reflected in the list. For instance, staking. So we have Lido DAO there in the top 10. That was a big kind of liquid staking player, real world assets, and also the kind of movement of TradFi or Wall Street into the crypto space. And you're seeing this kind of hybridization of crypto into a crypto native industry, and now more of a TradFi industry. And that's reflected with a number of names on the list. So for instance, Larry Fink, who's the long-term CEO of BlackRock, for instance, is on the list, because that company has announced plans for an ETF. So it's part of the kind of transition in the industry.
Yeah. Let's stick with that idea of 2023 was the year to build, especially in the midst of a so-called crypto winter. When you were making this list this year, did it strike you how many people came from the idea of TradFi or the broader market versus someone who was really crypto focused. How does this year compare to some previous years of the most influential?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I mean, we've been doing this 10 years, this list. It's been going since 2014, and I've done like 5 of them now. And it's very noticeable how the names sort of stay the same. Some of them, like Vitalik Buterin, for instance, founder of Ethereum, has appeared 4 times. But a number of the names are very new this year. So, I mean, I mentioned TradFi. PayPal, I mean, it's not exactly TradFi because it kind of came up in the .com era, but it's kind of a Silicon Valley TradFi company, and they launched a stablecoin this year. So we represented the leader of that initiative on the list that could have a substantial bearing on the future of payments, we believe, because of this stablecoin product that PayPal is putting out. It's going to go to 450 million people around the world. PayPal's in 200 countries. So this is kind of crypto moving on from a kind of a small, relatively small scale niche crypto finance industry to a much more broader base industry that is
he's not wrong there. This bull run is going to be so much greater than anything we've ever seen, at least in my opinion, with just the amount of adoption and bullshit that's been going on the last like 4 years. It's gonna be nuts.
That has ETFs, that does things like the PayPal stablecoin. It's becoming much more established and widespread.
Yeah, I have to bring up Gary Gensler. I mean, he made the top 10, and I suppose if you look at it, it's not that surprising given how much his name has been spoken in the same breath as crypto this year. But walk me through that decision and what he means for the crypto industry in 2023.
Well, talking very frankly, we didn't really want to put Gary Gensler on the list because he was on the list last year, and he's kind of an obvious choice. But then we kind of felt like we really had to put him on the list because, the SEC investigations and enforcement actions against major players like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, and others was really a big theme of the year, and it really kind of put the willies up the industry really and scared a lot of people, and people are still worried about the kind of rather arbitrary enforcement of securities laws coming from Gary Gensler, and he was really kind of a force unto his own, and a lot of people think he has political ambitions, and that's maybe feeding some of these enforcement actions. He's looking to make a name for himself. So we couldn't really leave him off the list, although we did consider a lot of other regulators and legislators that we could have nominated as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you mentioned the trend in 2023 of really sort of a whiplash from how strictly the SEC came down at the beginning of the year to some of the court cases that actually won against the SEC toward the end of the year. And if I'm thinking about one of those names, it would be Brad Garlinghouse, who was also on the list this year. But taking him as an example of a broader trend, how did opposition to the SEC's enforcement action or success in court really play into the list this year?
Yeah, that's a great question again. So, I mean, it was interesting because you kind of got 2 sides of this. On the one hand, you had the regulators, bringing their actions, but then you also had a trend of companies fighting back and in some cases winning. So the case that you're talking about here is Ripple and the sale of XRP. It's a very long-running 5-year case that the SEC brought that was finalized in court this year.
And shout out to Ripple for absolutely dominating that entire thing.
Manhattan. And it was a partial victory for Ripple, but it was actually seen as a victory for Ripple and for the industry. And on the key question about whether tokens are securities. And the judge in that case ruled that in some cases, tokens like XRP are not securities. So they're not under the behest or the imprimatur of the SEC regulators. So that's a big deal and could have a lot of ramifications for the industry going forward. And actually, Brad Garlinghouse was one of our NFT picks. So 50 names on the list, 10 of the names got their special NFT that we commissioned from some artists, and his NFT is quite remarkable. I think check it out on Coindesk.com. It shows him on top of a horse leading this army, the XRP army, into battle, and that was very much the feeling with that case. It was kind of the crypto army striking back against the powers that be this year, and there's no better example of that than Ripple and Garlinghouse and XRP.
Yeah, one of the other people that had an NFT, if I'm correct, is Sam Altman of OpenAI and WorldCoin. And I want to ask you, what is the relationship of AI to crypto this year, especially in regards to the list? I mean, I feel like there were conversations that were had about whether AI was taking some of the air out of the room when it comes to conversations around crypto and the hype around crypto. But Sam Altman made the list. So can you talk about that relationship this year? Now,
real quick. So Sam Altman, if you guys don't know, he's like the founder or creator of ChatGPT of some sort, if I'm not mistaken, in the whole WorldCoin thing. But did he go back to like working for OpenAI instead of Microsoft now? Like, it was like a huge thing 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard shit about it since. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys know in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there were a lot of VC dollars that might have gone into crypto that ended up going into AI, and that spooked some people in the industry. I mean, Altman's really on the list because he represents the trend of AI really taking off this year, and there's some questions as to what that means for crypto going forward. But I mean, so far a lot of people talk about blockchain technology being a governance model for AI to track data going through AI systems and allowing us to understand what's going on better. There are a number.
All right, so he is back at OpenAI, says Crypto KJ. Now, the whole thing here with crypto and AI, I think the good thing here, right? It's kind of like I guess a bit hidden, right, behind closed doors a little bit. They're trying to focus on AI more than they are crypto, so it's kind of taking the eyes off it in a sense in that way with regulation and stuff. Because if they don't catch the AI stuff, like, man, crypto's already too far. Good luck trying to friggin' regulate everything. But AI, when it comes to that, it's going to be yeah, it has to be regulated quick. So they're definitely going to be focusing on that more this year during this bull run, at least in my opinion.
Number of startups out there that have AI tokens or AI dictated tokens. That's another example of how there's convergence between the two. And also Altman's on the list because of this WorldCoin project, which is a highly ambitious project to bring tokens to the whole world and have an identity system that's on a blockchain, and for the project to distribute a universal basic income. So it has a very ambitious but quite controversial project, that WorldCoin. So that's why he's on the list. And we had to represent the AI trend somehow on the list because it was a big deal this year, and he seemed like the best candidate to do that.
Yeah. Final question. I'm not sure you've started putting together the 2024 list quite yet, but I am curious, what do you think is the most important thing or most influential thing to watch in crypto in the coming weeks and early months of 2024?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely the spot Bitcoin ETF possibility, which some people think will come in as early as January, will have a major impact on the market. This possibly will bring in millions of new people into the crypto industry, starting with Bitcoin and then other coins that will sort of follow from that. And also, I think we're going to see the kind of Wall Streetization, if I can put it like that, of crypto. I mean, Wall Street's going to look to develop its own products for consumers, which will have that kind of branding of crypto on it. And so it won't come from the crypto native industry so much. They will be kind of sanitized, if you like, from a kind of Wall Street point of view. So I think we're going to see a lot of kind of smarter rebranded crypto projects brought to market by these mainstream financial companies.
Pretty awesome. Shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that. All right, let's get into some videos here. We're gonna, well, just one video anyways. I want to see what Mr. Altcoin Daily had to say over Austin rather, over at Altcoin Daily. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF approval will pump these three altcoins. I really want to know what altcoins he's talking about. I'm assuming Ripple, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, but I don't know. That's in his thumbnail. I don't know what the third altcoin is because Bitcoin's not an altcoin. So let's see, you guys, that like button. Appreciate you all. Let's do it.
There is an unbelievable pent-up demand with U.S. retail equity investors to get exposure to crypto.
Breaking news for all crypto holders. The SEC just posted this investor alert on crypto asset securities. They did the same thing leading up to the Bitcoin futures approval. Spot Bitcoin ETF inevitable now.
All of these guys jockeying to be the first, but it's probably going to be all of them at once.
So look at all those big financial institutions that are trying to get a Bitcoin spot ETF. Like, you guys don't think Bitcoin's going to frickin' explode this year? I don't know.
First, but it's probably going to be all of them at once.
And with an update to BlackRock's application that just happened, the SEC requests BlackRock to add specific language to their ETF filing. Let's highlight exactly what this means for you, as well as 3 altcoins that this benefits after BlackRock ETF approval. So this is
I'm gonna be honest, I think all altcoins are going to benefit once this rally starts. I don't think anything's going to really suffer, except for like the real shit coins, you know what I mean?
BlackRock just added, based on the SEC's request, if a digital asset is determined or asserted to be a security, it is likely to become difficult or impossible for the digital asset to be traded, cleared, or custodied in the United States through the same channels used by non-security digital assets. So they're making very clear the difference between Bitcoin, which is not a security, and altcoins, which later may be deemed securities. For me, this leads me to believe that the SEC is just covering their bases for when businesses in the future apply for ETFs with XYZ altcoins. Any alts that are even within remote question would need to go through heavy financial auditing, etc., to prove to the SEC that they're not a security before an ETF of them is even considered. So which altcoins are the good ones? I mean, even Ethereum is not 100% confirmed to be not a security. I think it's going to go well, but there's still a big unknown in this space.
It's most likely going to go well. And also Ethereum, they're trying to get spot Ethereum ETFs as well.
Well, here are the 3 best altcoins that are the most compliant with the SEC, and you won't believe the last one. Of course, this first one, pretty obvious.
There is now clarity.
Are you guys bullish on XRP? I'm really not like super bullish on XRP, to be honest. I have some, but not much.
Rule of law in the United States is clear that XRP is not a security.
The SEC versus Ripple lawsuit dropped. This is a major win for the XRP army.
But aren't they trying to go back to court with them or something, if I'm not mistaken? I could be wrong.
In a landmark SEC surrender, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Executive Chairman Chris Larsen are cleared of all baseless allegations.
Well, 2.5 years ago when the SEC first sued us, we said publicly that this wasn't just an attack on Ripple, it was an attack on the entire crypto industry. And I think we did see that play out with the SEC getting more and more aggressive and really trying to regulate through enforcement, which we clearly don't think is a healthy way to do it. I think this is a huge win, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. I think it really is the first time the SEC has lost a crypto case and really puts the SEC, some of the SEC's comments that they make publicly about all of these digital assets being securities, it puts that in check.
So understanding this new language that the SEC requested BlackRock implement into their application, XRP seems to be in a very good spot.
There is now clarity. The rule of law in the United States is clear that XRP is not a security when traded on exchanges, when used for payment. There's a whole bunch of things in the judge's ruling that make it very clear about XRP. The SEC...
Real quick, I want to just kind of a little PSA. There is a lot of scams going on with XRP stuff, and you'll see like deep AI fakes with this dude on like ads and shit. Please, for the love of God, do not scan those stupid QR codes that are on the screen with your phone or anything. Okay, don't ever do that. Don't ever fall for it. Please, just be mindful. If it seems too good to be true, that's because it is.
He has been clear about Bitcoin also. Now, the unfortunate reality is right now, there's clarity for 2, Bitcoin and XRP.
Actually, there appears to be another coin that is in good standing that appears to have been cleared by the SEC. About a year ago, Polkadot announced that they had morphed away from security status. They went in to Gary Gensler and the SEC, registered on their own, and here's a 2-minute audio of the Web3 Foundation, one of the companies behind Polkadot, explaining that transformation.
The first part is Angie giving a setup on the process we went through with the SEC, working closely with US regulators to morph the DOT token from a security to software and what that means.
Really what I'll describe is the 3-year process with the SEC. This was both with the Office of FinHub and the SEC Division of Corporation Finance. This was not with enforcement, which is a totally different.
All right, hold on, Dan R. You have a QR code on the screen. All right, listen, I'm talking about the scam ads that you see, not mine, okay? That's crypto merch. It has nothing to do with any type of like asking you to donate or anything. Yeah, geez, you're the worst friend ever. You know that?
Division, who we never thankfully engaged with.
I guess that was a bad way to I guess I should have said it on this screen and not swapped over screens with a QR code on it.
So just taking us back to November of 2019. 6 months before the Polkadot network launch had started. Again, you know, and then it was actually 25 months before the launch was completed in December of 2021. And going back to November of 2019, 3 years ago, the SEC had publicly invited digital asset related companies to, quote, come in and talk to us. And so, you know, that's what we decided to do. The Polkadot team and its developers, really throughout the ecosystem, felt that the tech was so important to the world that they were willing to do whatever it took to be able to deliver Polkadot's native token DOT in compliance with U.S. federal securities laws, along with the laws of any regulator claiming jurisdiction, such as FINMA in Switzerland, the foundation's headquarters. So again, back in this time, we were in the midst of, and this is, you know, November, December 2019, early 2020, we were in the midst of the SEC halting the Telegram network and its native token from being even delivered to the original purchaser. So people had bought the Telegram native token in potentially a, you know, private transaction.
That wasn't my computer.
And then they expected to receive that token when the network was delivered. The SEC halted that.
That was weird.
And so we concluded, based on our analysis, that the SEC was likely to view the DOT token itself as a security, at least initially. But the interesting point was that the SEC had also published guidance.
Yankee says it made everyone look at the PC screens. I was like, what the hell? Where is it? It wasn't me. It was on. It must have been on the recording.
Concerning how a token that was initially sold as a security, potentially, you know, under Reg D or Reg S, et cetera, an exemption, could morph and no longer be a security later. So even though it would be delivered to the initial purchasers as a security, it can then, after that point, morph.
Be sure to like the video to support me.
That guy was too happy.
And of course, this third one working.
What the hell? Why was it just... It was just mute? That was weird as hell.
And of course, this third one working with
muted.
Swift. Swift details findings in tests of Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability.
All right, so I assume Polkadot's one of them, and then Chainlink's the next one.
Just announced a new partnership
so
with
loud.
interbank payment processor Swift.
Basically, we're working together with Swift, DTCC, Euroclear, and some of the world's largest banks like Citi, BNP Paribas, and large custodians like BNY Mellon to see how blockchains can be used within their largest categories of transactions.
So to be clear, they have not been cleared by the SEC yet, but Swift is almost just as powerful. They're in bed with the SEC and the global regulators. And here's a 60-second clip of how Chainlink allows these old systems, the old way, the banks, to connect with this new way of transferring money, blockchain.
So how do you connect your 40, 50, 30-year-old systems to blockchains without having to reinvent everything, which is not an attractive process. And frankly, after working with more of these banks and asset managers, if I had $100 billion sitting on some system and switching that over was a risk and no user asked me and there was no user benefit and there was no efficiency benefit, I would question it too, right? So it's kind of like a question of why am I switching off this, okay, it's a 30-year technology, but I can kind of wrap around it and it can still work. And that's what banks have done for decades. They have some old technology that gets wrapped with like XML or SOAP or something, and then APIs wrap that, and then now we wrap that, basically. This is something I think we're well on the way to doing through our ability to collaborate and through the Chainlink network's security and the ease of use for existing systems. This is a principled design decision that I think the people building the Chainlink network have made to say, we want to be able to integrate with existing infrastructure. We don't want to replace it. We want to integrate.
Also, anybody that's going to be in Vegas next week, feel free to join us at Influencer Fight Club.
No, zero chance. What were the 3 coins? What were the 3 coins? Does he say a third one? Where is it? Was it Polkadot, Chainlink? Did I miss one? Am I slow? Please let me know. I mean, it's very possible I could be slow. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, all right, guys, let's recap before we get to Mr. Crypto Mikkel. He's going to be going live, or he is live, actually. We're going to raid him. And guys, hit that like button, please. We need 16 more to get 100. I would really appreciate it. YouTube would appreciate it as well. Even like literally, I hate asking for that. It's so awful. I have to do it like every time. But if we don't get a certain amount of likes, they don't push your videos. It's just freaking stupid. Anyways, all right, let's check out. Let's see what these coins look like real quick before we get out of here. What coins are you guys into or mining? What? I mean, this one's on a freaking tear. I mean, Crypto KJ. Sorry, bro. I know it's terrible. I know it hurts to look at, but you can't deny it's doing great. It's doing great. What algo is this actually? I've never mined it. I've never mined this coin. Does anybody mine this? Anybody here? Let me know. Nexa. Let's check out Nexa. How's Nexa doing? I was debating. So like, if you guys didn't see my video, why does it do that? It's so weird. Every time you hit enter, it just goes wherever the hell it wants. That's actually down 3.4%. If you guys didn't see my video this morning, go check it out. But I did a walkthrough on how to get Karlsen hash going to unMineable. They actually just enabled it. So I'm actually mining with a couple mining rigs from Karlsen directly to Kaspa, because the price of Karlsen is literally like 1.5 Kaspa. So if I do that there, you know, it's a greater yield and then a higher potential at the end of the, you know, the end of the rope, basically. If you did it for like anything else, say like I went to Dogecoin, right? If I auto converted right to Dogecoin inside unMineable, it would be like you'd get 3 times the coins per one, right? And then if Dogecoin moons again, you're in a great position, at least in my opinion. You know what I mean? It could be any coin, like any low cap coin. Even if you do Nexa, like you get a shit ton of Nexa for each Karlsen. It makes sense. I don't know, makes sense to me. But I'm very, very happy to have all my rigs back on finally. It's been a long time coming. It's literally been like 1.5 years or something. I've had like everything off because my electric rate sucks, but I'll suck it up here. I'll suck it up with these 2 rigs. Everything else, no. Everything else is hosted over at TerraHost. And if you guys don't know, terrahosting.io. And appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the 100 likes. You guys are awesome. All right, let's see. What do you guys have in the chat? Sustainable Crypto said Zelcore said to take out Monero by 115.24, no longer supporting it. Ooh, that's crazy. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because it's a privacy coin. There might be issues with it. Weird. And that's, to be honest, that's a reason I'm kind of against mining Zephyr, right? And it's not like I don't know, there's nothing against the coin. It's just the fact that the regulation's gonna suck, right? Because it's like a privacy thing, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, forgive my ignorance because I don't know enough about it, but just in general. Are they upside down still? Maybe, bro. I have no idea. They're working though. That's all that matters. Actually, you know what? I take that back. This one right here dropped 2 cards on me. There's 12 cards in this rig and it's only showing 10. So I had him take it apart yesterday to find out which one was not in there, right? Because there was only 1 gone. And then they opened it up, messed with it, put it back, and now 2 cards are off. I was like, bro, I don't need that rig on anyways. Just keep it off and reseed all the cards so you guys have time. So it's not a big deal, but I shut it off anyways because this right here, if you guys look, this RX 580 rig, this is an old MK2 RX 580s. These things actually suck on Karlsen. The wattage was like 1300 watts for the rig entirely, and these cards all together were pulling like 1 gigahash. It was like 1.9 maybe. And like in comparison, looking at the rest of my rigs, like, you know, these are 1660s right here, like 1660 Ti's, each pulling 400 mega hashes a pop. It's 5.124 gigahashes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the RX 580s, no. And it's 500 watts. So 1300 watts for 1 gigahash was not okay, or 1.9, whatever it was. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Put them to work. No way, says Mr. Overboard Tech. Why? 7-year-old architecture is inefficient. No way. Yeah, all right. I get it. Hey, but you know what? Honestly, they can still be very profitable. If some coins, right? Somebody said SADIX or SADIX or however you say that. That coin, what is it? RX 580s, it said 50 cents a day after electric, which is crazy. I don't know how true that is, but I might have to turn them on and do that. Crypto KJ said GPUs. Yes, absolutely GPUs. Read my comment, damn it, says my wife. What'd you say? Probably when he stacks them upside down. Oh, Yeah, it was probably from when he stacked them upside down. That is probably true. Oh man. All right, guys, I love you all. You're all fantastic. I'm sorry I gotta get out of here. I have company coming over in like 10 minutes, so I gotta go get ready. But yeah, we're going to be going live on Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live on this channel at 9:45-ish Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if it'll be a little earlier. I'll try to get them to, but either way, we're going to raid Crypto Mikkel. So guys, hit that like button before you get out of here. I appreciate it. Go show Crypto Mikkel some love. I'll auto direct you guys right now. And until next time, I'll catch you guys soon. Peace out and have a good day.